Hello my friends and welcome. It's Buck Weezer. You've tuned Buck's Small Engine DIY on the YouTube. Are you ready for another non-running generator project? See if we can get it up and running again and back in business? Well, stay tuned because here we go. And here he is. It's a HOMELITE 1800 running watts portable generator. So just a little guy, little as compared to the one we were working on last week. And he looks dusty. And we got a 120 output, but we also have a 12 volt cigarette lighter style output, DC. And there's our info card. Not sure you'll be able to read it, but see, the date of manufacture is November of 2008. So not anything new, but it certainly looks like it's been sitting in the shed for a while without use. Real compact and tight. Hopefully it won't be too hard to work on. But we've got to, I guess I'm going to start by cleaning it off, and I'm going to get it up on the workbench since it's, I don't feel like working here on the ground. And yeah, we'll see what we can do with this little guy. Okay, I spent a few minutes cleaning this guy off. It was very dusty, and it's just going to make the experience a little more pleasurable for all of us, especially me. A couple observations. There's no fuel in that tank. I wanted to make sure it has oil. Does have oil. It's got a fuel shutoff valve, which is in the run position or the flow position. That's good. Coming around this side, this panel, the panel on this cover, this side has been removed. I have it over there on the workbench. And there's the carburetor. And you know, it kind of looks like maybe it was leaking at some point with that discoloration there on the side, but we'll see. I think what I want to do is on and off. The pull string is worn through the plastic here. Probably better pull it straight up like that instead of on this side of the bar, because that's just wearing into the plastic and it's also going to ruin the cable. So that's not ideal. Guess I should take off this air cover and take a look at that. But I think what I'm going to do first of all is just put it back on the ground, put in a spark tester, make sure we got spark. After that, we'll maybe shoot some starting fluid into the carburetor throat, see if it'll run briefly on that. And then maybe we'll have to dive into the carburetor a little bit deeper. I took off the air filter. It deteriorates immediately upon touching it, so we'll have to replace that if we can find one somewhere. There was this little pouch, and that was on the generator, and it contained this cable for charging a battery with the cigarette lighter connector at one end and two clamps at the other. It contains some kind of tool. I don't know if it's a spark plug tool or what, and 3 rubber feet. I noticed that all 4 of the rubber feet on the bottom of this are missing. So perhaps they vibrated off over the years. We'll have to try to fix that. I got 3 of them. Maybe come up with something else for the 4th foot. All right, so I've got my spark tester right there, put on the between the spark plug and the spark plug cable. So we're gonna put it in the on position and see if it will flash for us right down there. Okay, I turned off the lights in the shop just to make it a little easier to see that flash inside the spark tester. So let's try that real quick. Off, on, and starter rope. right, I just discovered something very interesting, and I'm not sure what's going on. But there's something with this switch that it's been labeled with a paint pen on and off that's not correct. So when I put it down in on, I wasn't getting any spark. Now I put it down to off and got my spark tester in there again. And I want to show you. With it in the off position, look, it flashes. So either that switch has been labeled wrong, or there's something goofy going on with that switch, or maybe somebody put it back in upside down, but we got thrown off by that. All right, so, well, that, having done that, we're going to try our starting fluid test again. So hold on. So there we start to get something. I think it wants to. Okay, so there. That ran for us a little bit on the starting fluid. So that means with that compression, it is getting spark, even if the switch is in the off position. Probably just going to take it out and flip it around the other way so that it's labeled correctly. And then we'll have to see if it's going to run on fuel. So that's next. All right, so I took down this end cap just to get access to the carburetor better, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that on-off switch around, because I just think someone mistakenly put it in backwards. And there's no way to tell looking at it. Alright, so that's better. I think that'll be good. And I can't move this guy completely because our starter rope is running through it. We can open it up a little bit like that. All right. All right, where were we? We're going to take down this air cleaner. There we go. All right. Let's clean it off a little bit in here. Alright, I think I want to take down that bowl. I can take the bowl down easily without removing the carburetor. And that will allow us to see inside of it, which I think is a good idea. Nope. $13 millimeters is too big. 12 millimeters is good. All right, it doesn't look good to me in there. Let's see if you can take a peek at that. It's kind of dirty. You might not be able to see it too well. That confirms for me that I do want to take the carburetor down and clean it out, because it's got some old fuel and crud in there. It's like a sandy kind of crud at the bottom of this bowl. And I'd like to clean that off better, make sure we don't have crud in the tank. And I want to start clean because that's what happens when things sit for a long time with old fuel in them. So let's take the carburetor off. Well, here's the carburetor, and I'm taking it apart as much as I can. Sometimes I think maybe this is one of those situations where Chinese-made Amazon, eBay replacement El Cheapo might be a good way to go. I can't get the emulsion tube out. It's just frozen in there. And I'm not showing you all of my attempts at cleaning this thing, but here it is. And I'm going to throw it through the ultrasonic cleaner. And if it doesn't run well, or if it doesn't work for us, then maybe we can go the aftermarket route. One thing I'm going to do is got a little bit of, I don't know, corrosion or maybe rust at the bottom of this bowl. I thought maybe this soft wire brush on the end of a drill might help. Oh yeah. All right, so I'll do that for a bit and throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then I'll put it all back together, and I'll bring you back when it's time to install it and see if it runs. I mean, otherwise this is like the most boring kind of footage, and you don't want to have to watch that. So I'll do all that, and then we'll talk again in a little bit. See you then. Okay, there's our carburetor cleaned and put back together. Had to replace this bowl nut gasket. Might not be the right size, hopefully it won't leak. I think it's okay. We'll try it. In the meantime, I was able to install the rubber feet that we found in that pouch. So I got new feet on there, which is good. I had to make one out of a block of wood right there. So at least we got 3 rubber feet anyway, 3 out of 4. And now we're going to install the carburetor. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Anyway, this spacer here goes on there and the gasket broke. And I thought it would be good to put a little bit of silicone sealant on there, some RTV. So I'm going to do that because I don't want it. I'm never going to find this gasket, and I don't feel like taking the time to poke around online and find someone who might have a replacement. I'm just going to use a little bit of RTV to seal that. So just a little bit on there, like so. Not too heavy. All right, like that. And then I put the plate on for the air cleaner, but I got to reconnect this hose. I want to flush a little fuel through the fuel tank before I connect it, just in case there's any crud in there, instead of putting it directly back into the carburetor. So I need to add a little fuel, so hang on while I do that. All right, added some fuel. Okay, cool. Turn off the fuel valve. That seems to be running pretty clean. We can connect it onto our carburetor clamp. Clamp it down. All right. Okay, it's the moment of truth. See if this little generator wants to fire up for us. Switch on. Fuel valve open. Fuel added. Oil checked. Choke choked. Here we go. It lives. Well, what I was trying to demonstrate there is it's running best at half choke. And so that's telling me the fuel flow through that carburetor is not really adequate, even though we cleaned it pretty thoroughly. And I don't know, maybe this is, maybe I'll poke around online, see if one of those replacement Chinese carburetors is easy enough to get a hold of. You know, you've got a full choke and it doesn't run good at full choke except for a cold start. Then you have choke off and it wasn't running as well. But halfway there isn't a groove. You know, there isn't a spot for half choke. It's supposed to run better, you know, with the choke plate wide open, but it's just requiring a little bit of choking in order to run better. So I think that's going to be it for now. And I'll let you know what I find out.